Welcome back. Before you fix a process, you have to agree on what good even means. And who decides? In banking, the answer isn't just the customer at the counter, it's the regulator, the relationship manager, the risk team, and the customer all at once. Today, Nadia does the unglamorous work that saves projects. She listens. Voice of the customer turned into things you can actually measure, and she maps the KYC process end to end. The first honest picture the bank has ever drawn of it. The tool is a translator. On the left, what people say, raw, vague, human. The refresh takes forever. I never know what documents I need. It gets rejected and nobody tells me why. On the right, what you can measure, the critical to quality characteristics. Takes forever becomes days from trigger to completed refresh. Never know what documents becomes first-time right rate. A complaint is a feeling. A CTQ is a number with a target. That translation is the whole job. Let's capture it. I'll use the LeanProjax platform, the VOC and C2YU tools inside the KYC assignment. Nadia enters the voices she gathered from 3 sources: the branch staff, the compliance team, and 2 frustrated corporate clients. Then each voice flows into a CTQ tree: refresh cycle time, first-time write rate, and rework rate. 3 vague frustrations just became 3 numbers the whole team can chase and a regulator would respect. The project now has a definition of good. Now the map. Before you improve a process, you draw it, and you'd be amazed how rarely anyone has. SIPOC is the belt's favorite one-pager. Suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, customers, the whole thing on a single line of sight. It's deliberately high level, 5 to 7 steps, no more. The point isn't detail, it's agreement. When Nadia puts the KYC refresh on a SIPOC and shows it to the team, 3 people say the same sentence. Wait, that's not how it actually works. Here's that moment. In the platform, the SIPOC tool. Nadia maps the KYC refresh as the bank believes it works. A trigger fires, the customer is contacted, documents come in, compliance reviews, the file updates. Clean. 5 steps. And as the team looks at it, the objections start. There's a handoff to a second system nobody drew, a manual rekeying step, a queue where files wait for days. The clean map and the real process are 2 different animals. That gap? That's the project. One more piece before we close. Define. Who actually owns what? Nadia walks the process step by step and pins an owner to each one. Responsible, accountable, or just consulted. And the hard questions surface: who really owns the compliance review and who owns the follow-up once the file updates? Ownership gaps are process gaps, and now they're on the table. Then she closes the phase. The define sections, voice captured, process mapped. She ticks each one done, and the completion bar climbs. Define is complete, and every claim behind it is logged. Step back and see what 1 week of listening bought. The bank started with a vague crisis. KYC is a mess. It now has 3 measurable targets, a real map of how the work flows, and a clear picture of where ownership breaks down. Not one thing has been fixed, but the fog is gone. And notice, every bit of this lives in the shared workspace, time-stamped, checkable. When someone doubts a claim later, the evidence is already there, waiting. Define is done. The problem is named, measured, and mapped. But there's a crack in the foundation, and Nadia can feel it. Every number so far came from what people said happens. Nobody has actually watched the work, stopwatch in hand. In the next episode, Measure begins the hard way. The team leaves the meeting room, walks onto the floor, and discovers that the real KYC process lives nowhere on paper, only in people's heads. See you there.